Pew. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Peck here, CHGO Bulls. We got a live post game for y'all coming up right now. Bulls go down to the Celtics 138-129, eliminated from the NBA Cup. They gave them a good fight. We're going to break down tonight's game. We'll also hear from our guy, Will Gottlieb from the United Center. And joining us, just for fun, we're going to talk to Mark Stein, get his thoughts on what's going on with the Bulls. That's coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls POSTGAME, presented by Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow, bow. BAWL Sports. He cracks himself up. Uncle Will Perdue, back in the fold. Will_Perdue 32. On the controls, the one and only Sarah Bear hanging out.
Let's go.
Maker of all the pies. And we will hear from Will Gottlieb later on in tonight's postgame. We also will chat with our guy Mark Stein of DLLS Mavs and just NBA geniusness overall. Guys, 138-129 is the final. The Bulls gave the Celtics a very good fight tonight, I thought. We talked in pregame about how daunting of a challenge this game would be, Dave. The Celtics coming in motivated, not only needing a win, but still needing to help themselves from a point differential standpoint to try and maybe get a wild card berth to the knockout round of the NBA Cup. And, I mean, that game was going back and forth. It was tied at halftime, back and forth third quarter, back and forth fourth quarter. The Celtics, down the stretch, just made the buckets they needed to make. The Bulls did not.
Yeah, well, like you said, we talked about it in the pregame that as much as, we talked about how good, the Celtics are, and they are, I feel like they're the best team in the NBA despite the Cavs having the best record. I talked about how the Bulls and the Celtics usually play each other pretty tough. I don't know why that's the case, but that's just how it's kind of been.
Outside of that game last year.
Yeah, I'll say definitely outside of that game last year. But it seems like, it's the same kind of game that we first saw when we first got to CHGO. And I remember that game, Matt, where the Celtics, again, was shooting 70% to kind of start the game and just went insane on the Bulls, and the Bulls came all the way back and won the game. It's kind of the same with this. They started out really, really hot on the Bulls, but the Bulls, like they've been doing all season, just kind of kept pace with the Celtics and wouldn't allow them to leave and kind of just latched onto them. They went 3 for 3 with them. Like, you shooting threes, we're shooting threes. You're going to run, we're going to run. They ended up taking the lead in that second quarter. Taylor Horton-Tucker, oh, my God.
Wow.
Like, he just lost his mind. He went crazy out there. Everything that Billy was putting in was working. He played everybody. If Matt had a jersey, he would have got some ticks tonight. Like, everybody got out there and got a shot on the floor. Torrey Craig came out there and hit a couple of threes. Yeah, everybody but Javon Carter, I believe. Even Julian Phillips got sick in the fourth, comes in, hits a three on the baseline as soon as he gets in. Zach LaVine was just uncanny, along with Vooch, who was even crazier. And, yeah, like, it was just such a fun game to watch. I kept telling you I couldn't wait for that fourth quarter because I thought it was going to be a really, really good one, and it absolutely was. Pritchard lost his mind also. We'll get into all of that. But, Will, I had a lot of fun watching this game. And, yeah, I thought both teams just played each other really tough, and then the better team on paper and kind of on the floor ended up taking it over.
Yeah, listen, somebody
Who are you? Show yourself.
Said it was a win-win tonight.
Fun bad.
There he is. Steven Dickerson. Talked about how we had certain guys that increased their trade value. Vooch.
Monster game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Massive.
And that's something I want to talk about if we have time, about Vooch and making the All-Star team.
We'll make time for you, Will Perdue.
But also,
hey, Mark.
The better team stepped up and won the game.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
But what you have to like is the effort that the Bulls put forth. Okay? Now, that being said, I just want to make one point, and it's not something we really need to labor on because it's nothing new. But we continue to talk about this, and this is what it's something that has to change in the future. Excuse me. And I don't know if that's with different personnel or whatever, but this team continues to allow their opponents to set the bar. And then they play to that level, whichever level it is, right? Now, I will say I will take a step back from that comment, and when we played the Wizards, I thought played very well and put them away like you're supposed to. Okay? But what I want to also throw in there is, okay, where was this effort against the Magic? Because in my opinion, the Magic are almost at this level right now as far as how they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay? And the last thing is, we can touch on this whenever, is this. I thought this was a good game. I thought for sure that Modest would get a lot more minutes than he got. I was surprised by that because of how this team plays. This team, even though they have some length, they still play a perimeter game.
Yeah.
Which I thought was right down Modest's alley.
Yeah, Will Perdue. Yes, agree with you. I wasn't shocked that Modest didn't get out there, to be honest with you. Billy has kind of shown that what he feels about rookies over the year.
Yeah, but
except for guys like Ayo. You know
let me
what I mean?
interject, but he said that Modest has to earn those minutes, and I think he has by the way he's
That's
played.
my point. Yeah, no, we're on the same page. That's exactly what I mean. I feel like he's earned the time to get into these kind of games. And let's see what he can do. More so than having, just 5 minutes, and he scored 2 points and had 2 rebounds. Like, I thought he was going to get a little more time in this kind of game. But I'm sure Billy kind of looked at it like, look, Torrey Craig came in and was popping off some threes. Taylor Horton-Tucker was just out of his mind, hitting all the shots in the world that were given to him. He wanted some more length, so I'm sure Jalen Smith is the reason he went with that.
R.I.P.
Right. Oh, my
Jaylen
God.
Brown
That
does.
Jaylen Brown moment of silence.
Woo.
Ooh. Oh, my gosh.
Yikes.
My goodness, man. Schedule a moment. But, yeah, man, like I think that was kind of his thinking as far as the size and stuff was concerned. He kind of touched on that when he spoke to Casey Johnson at halftime. But for me, Will, it just comes down to just his trust within the younger guys and in the rookies, because you can't say we need more size out there. We're going to have to play more guys with more size. And then you got a 6'10" dude sitting right there with athleticism that can probably play with, some of these guys on the floor, and you don't give him that opportunity to do so. So I just think he doesn't feel like he's ready. I don't know what else he has to do to make him feel like he's ready, because you have to play to actually show that you're ready. But that was Billy's decision. And it wasn't a one that kind of backfired on him, Will, because like I said, those guys that he was bringing in, they all played well. Everybody did well, probably outside of Jalen Smith, rest in peace. But yeah, I thought everybody else played pretty well and played pretty solid in this game, and Boston just went Boston on them at the end.
People in the comments also upset about Modest. Modest minutes were criminal, says Ostis Jr. Alberto saying, I wanted to see Modest against their 2 big man lineup. Yeah. Let him get roughed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And speaking of who played how many minutes tonight, there is also, I think there's some torches and pitchforks from the Josh Giddy believers out there in Bulls Nation. Optimistic Bulls fans saying Giddy was a plus 14, 8 boards, 9 assists, and some good defense. Let's put a pin in that. And Lonzo closes. Question mark. That is interesting, because we mentioned in pregame, Billy said probably about 15 minutes again for Lonzo tonight. Mm-hmm. We'll hope it goes well. We'll try and build him up to 20.
Right.
Lonzo Ball played 22 minutes off the bench tonight. I believe I just saw a tweet from Casey saying they planned on 15, checked with medical staff, checked with Lonzo, said he felt good, so they bumped up his minutes tonight.
Okay.
Lonzo was a minus 16 in his 22 minutes off the bench, despite the fact that that Giddy was a plus 14 in this game, as Optimistic Bulls fan mentioned. Mm-hmm. He only played 24 minutes.
Wow.
The other 4 Bulls starters played somewhere between 32 and 35. As our in-house Giddy believer, Will, what do you make of the fact that down the stretch of this one, Billy chooses to go with Lonzo Ball over Josh Giddy?
I was surprised by that because, as I was watching the game, I thought that Giddy's defense was better. Mm-hmm. Okay. I specifically was talking to my son, who was at the game with me, about how he was putting forth the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's where it starts, with effort.
Sure.
So I like that. He wasn't just, accepting the fact that I'm not that good and there's nothing I can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the effort was there. Listen, I like the fact that, he played Lonzo, because that to me was telling me that they were trying to win the game. Because, they win this game, they win the tiebreaker and they win the pot.
Correct.
Vooch and all these guys talked about how, hey, in Io specifically,
yeah,
hey, we want to win some money here.
Yes.
Okay. So, maybe, I don't know this for a fact, but maybe management and them said, okay, well, these cup games are different. We'll approach these cup games differently than other games.
Okay.
Because I don't, considering what the future holds. Now, I don't want to contradict my statement, because I think Taylor Horton-Tucker deserves to be on this team, because he made the team because of how he played in the preseason.
Absolutely right.
Okay. But I just, what's his future with this team? Why is he? I think modest. I get what Billy said at the beginning of the season. He's got to earn it. So maybe there was something behind the scenes that we didn't know about. But everybody that I've talked to has stated, how much time Modest is actually putting in with the coaches, how much film he's watching,
right,
coming early, staying late. He's doing everything and then some of what's asked of him.
Right.
And he's had some games where he didn't look good. Mm-hmm. But I thought as of late, you've seen some momentum. You've seen some growth. You've seen some development.
Agreed.
So keep throwing him out there. I guess the best thing to say is, on one hand, I'm happy. The other hand, I'm confused. I'm not sure which direction we're going. What's the goal?
Welcome to Bulls fandom.
Way to be in my brain. That's exactly what I was going to tell him.
But it was fun to watch. It was, even the fans were into it. I can say this, being at the game, the Dunkin' Donuts race was not the loudest moment of the game.
Wait, who won?
Bagel.
Bagel won. Biggie Bagel.
Biggie Bagel.
Shout out. You got a problem with Biggie Bagel too?
He's not a cup of coffee. The one true champion.
The hatred is just
but
knows no bounds.
The other thing, Will, and maybe a little tinfoil hat stuff, but I saw somebody in the comments saying earlier, as far as who's getting what minutes right now, if the Bulls had won this game, made it to the knockout stage of the NBA Cup, there are more eyes on those knockout cup games.
Yeah.
And the Bulls, according to recent reports and reports, are willing to take phone calls. They are sellers. They are ready to be sellers. And not just, hey, can we find a trade for Zach finally? Can we find a trade partner who wants a big man, who's Vooch is having an all-star caliber season? Lonzo Ball's name also came up in those reports of, hey, if this guy can prove that he's healthy, if the Bulls prove that he is a very, net positive player that's helping this team with his minutes, maybe that's an expiring deal that some team would be willing to give the Bulls an asset for. So maybe that's why Lonzo played 22 minutes off the bench tonight.
That's a very good point, and I love the fact you brought up, more eyes being on you. That's another good point.
There was somebody from the comments.
That's a great point.
I'm going to throw that one in the trash because
toss it in the trash, Will.
There's more public eyes on you, but these teams are watching every single game.
I agree.
They're and with NBA TV and the way the league works, okay, a team can call the Bulls and say, hey, we need game tape because we have the Celtics coming up, when in hindsight they're looking at a player. The Bulls aren't going to say no. That's not how it works.
Right.
So, the fact that could be the case, yes, but there's not going to be more teams' eyes watching. The teams that are interested in these players are watching them every single night, regardless of who they're playing.
That's real talk.
We got to take our first break right there. When we come back on the other side, we'll be joined by our guy, Mark Stein of DLLS Mavs, and, of course, the incredible Stein Substack. Yeah. Stick around, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Here's some ads. We'll be right back.
Ads.
Ads.
Got to pay Peck's salary.
Hey.
Big Dave, do you want to have a conversation with me about ComEd real quick?
More than I want to talk to Will Perdue about basketball, Peck.
That's
And that's a lot.
That's really sad.
That's a lot.
That's really sad.
Incredibly sad. And I'm still happy about it.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
You know what, Dave? ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's right, Dave. The Energy Efficiency Program can help find up to 35% in energy savings.
Wow. So what does a business, Matt Peck, have to do?
Real simple, Dave. You ready for this?
Come
Just
on.
sign up for a free, as in $0, zero payment, free facility assessment at ComEd.com/biz.
Okay, and there's something else behind that, right? Wait. That's it? So, wait. Why are more businesses doing this?
I don't know. Maybe they forgot the website.
What? ComEd.com/biz? ComEd.com/biz?
That's the one.
Or as Will Perdue and the Barry White says it, ComEd.com/biz.
Slowing it down.
B-I-Z.
That's still the correct website.
Yeah.
That should do
Play
it.
my Barry White music again.
Oh, not yet, Will. Not
Terms
yet.
and conditions apply. Offered subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customers' energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Will Perdue,
Yes.
what time is it?
Game time.
Smacked in the face with it. Oh, you gotta love Game Time because they've got this new feature called Game Time Picks that makes it easier than ever to get tickets to see your favorite teams play live. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tier cards. The curation makes it easy to save more money on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything that you want to go see live. Save money with Game Time Picks. Of course, they got the all-in pricing. Of course, they got that lowest price guarantee. Of course, they got the Game Time ticket coverage, but they got the Matt Peck and Big Dave favorite, y'all. Oh, the seat views. We got to see it. We want to know where we're at. Stretching our legs. Where's the food? Where's the vendor? How can I stretch my arm? I see a person, I want to point to them and not hit nobody. I need all of that. And seat views shows me all these things, y'all. So take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
Download Game Time today, because they're there. What time is it?
Game time. Who?
That's right. Rolling along. Bulls fall to the Celtics. CHGO Bulls postgame.
Like, what did I sign up?
Hit that like button. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling generous in this holiday weekend. Make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel. And joining us now, Sarah, if you will, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend,
Sir.
NBA expert, incredible journalist and reporter, long time for all kinds of places, but right now he's joined the cool crew, a.k.a. All City, covering the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA down there at DLLS Mavs. Also check out that Substack, markstein.substack.com. Follow him on Twitter at DesignLine. The one and only Mark Stein joins us now. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Guys, I gotta say, there's so many things before we get to the stuff you want to talk about. First of all, Matt and Dave, you guys just set a bar on reads that, like, meetings when I tell the DLLS guys about the performance you guys just put on those first reads. I realize now we are falling way short. Said there are going to be some team meetings to discuss how we can get to that level of energy, and man, that was impressive.
It's easy.
But
just be 6 years old.
without offending you two, I didn't even know when I suggested to the GOAT Gottlieb that I hop on tonight. I had no idea that one of my all-time favorite NBA people, Will Perdue, is on the show. I had no idea.
That's right. That's right. Uncle Will's hanging with the cool kids.
Yep.
Not only did Will and I get to work together here and there at ESPN many, many years, and for me, many, many pounds ago, my very first summer league at Loyola Marymount, 1989, there was a second-year Bulls center there named Will Perdue. My memory might not be correct. That's at least the way I remember it.
No, you're right. You're exactly right, my friend. That would be the summer of 69. No, I mean 89.
1989. A young
what a
center.
night.
Hey, how did young Will Perdue play in those summer of '89 summer league games?
So he was like a summer league. He was a vet. He was one of the vets. And
actually,
man, I was 20 years old covering NBA summer league. You got to understand, in those days, summer league was not the enterprise like it is now.
Right.
No TV. Even beat writers did not cover summer league. It was looked down upon for beat writers to go to summer league. Especially, I was in Southern California working for the Orange County Register during college. The Laker writers were going to the finals every year. The last thing Laker writers were going to do was go to summer league. I would have crawled on my hands and knees to cover it. There was barely any media there, and it was honestly one of the greatest experiences of my life. Cemented my love of the NBA. I knew then I wanted to be a full-time NBA writer out of college, but I remember for some reason speaking to a young Will Perdue, even though I was an LA paper and he was a Chicago Bull, but I remember meeting him there, seeing him there, and
that's where the diehards went, man. That's where you were a little green back then. So then they talked about they sent you there, and look where you are now.
But remember, in those days, like Magic Johnson might show up at night to play, without warning.
Wow.
Like
Yep,
All-Stars would just show up. I mean, it was such a different time. You guys can't even imagine.
Yeah, I remember Kareem showed up one night.
Wow.
To watch a game, and plus, the way the situation was, we didn't have a lot to do. A lot of times, we would just. The whole thing was you were there to play basketball. You would watch basketball for 2 weeks, and then that was it. It was a grind. I mean, not only for the players, but for these guys. And I just remember, we'd ride in the hotel vans over to L'Oreal and Marymount with the officials.
Oh, man. Yo.
So, but
very rudimentary uniforms.
You wore your practice gear. What are you talking about? That was just...
Yeah, it like to see what summer league has become. You can't even imagine. And that's the thing. There's no film. There's no tape. Like, you can't find it. But like I said, in those days, Dominique Wilkins might come through the door at night and start playing. I mean, it was just a different world.
That was back. You did everything in the hotel, come play the game, and then you'd go back to the hotel all sweaty and grungy, and then take a shower, and then just try to find a place to eat, and then just do it all over again the next day. But
I'm guessing per diem was not in the $200 range back then.
No, I think it was like right around back then, and that year it was like $80.
Oh man,
still pretty good.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So would I.
I'll take it right now.
All right, Stein, we got to get some of your Bulls thoughts, buddy. The Bulls gave the Celtics a really good fight just now. They lose, but they went blow for blow with the Celtics for nearly 4 quarters. The Celtics make a few more plays down the stretch. What do you make of the fact that this Bulls team that's sort of in a not quite rebuild situation with the struggles we know they have on defense can still, with this new form of offense they're playing, go pound for pound with a team like the Boston Celtics like they nearly did tonight?
Well, I really wanted to hear how you guys feel about it, because, Chicago wins tonight and a trip to Vegas is on the table. Now, I am probably the biggest NBA Cup curmudgeon and critic there is. I cannot pretend that this thing is a tournament, but I'm guessing in the Windy City, to have a chance to win tonight and win the group, go to the quarterfinals, and actually have a shot at Vegas, instinct tells me that the Matt and Dave side of this table or studio setup would have been pretty psyched for that.
Mark, no.
Stein, we'll get to know each other on a deeper level eventually.
Yeah,
but.
man. No, it's the same as when we talked last time. Matt and I are not on that page right there. We are okay compiling all the losses that happened right there. I am okay with fun bad. I'm okay with them looking entertaining, looking good, you know what I mean? Like they did tonight. It was a really fun game to watch. I'm enjoying watching Zach and the way he's playing and Vooch, because that way it raises their trade values. So I like watching this. I want to see the young guys play more. That's what we talked about kind of in the first segment. We want to see Modest out there more. But no, as far as the W's, hey, no, I'm okay with the L's. I'm quite all right with the L's. Matt is probably more gung-ho about those L's than I am, but I'm okay with it, man.
I guess I would have figured you guys would have liked to see a cup run that goes to Vegas and then a full-on tank after that. So at least you guys get a trip to Sin City in before the tank starts.
Well, okay.
If the wins and losses didn't count, then yes.
Also, let's be clear. If the Bulls had advanced and then they made it past the quarterfinal to the semifinals and going to Vegas, they'd send Will to go Gottlieb.
That's right.
I don't think we'd be on that flight. I think we would be stuck back here in Chicago. I don't think there was a trip to Vegas for us on the table.
That's very true.
No, that's got to be mandatory full staff participation. That's got all.
Yes, it does.
I agree.
We're producing it does, and he wants in.
Also, if you're the world's biggest NBA Cup curmudgeon, Mark, then I'm the second biggest because I think this entire thing is pointless and a waste of time. Like, I get it. There's an incentive for the players. There's cash prize. They're trying to make interesting the dog days of an NBA regular season. I get, and it's mostly about money, but no, you're talking about like shot at like a cup. Come on, man. This gentleman over here has 3 of the Bulls' 6 franchise NBA champ Larry O'Brien trophies.
Those things.
And it would be so Bulls to raise a banner for the NBA Cup in-season tournament and try to act towards their fans like that meant a damn when it doesn't.
Well, let me say this. Whoever wins the NBA Cup, whether it would have been Chicago in a fantasy scenario or whoever it is, if you don't hang a banner, you're slapping the league in the face. So whoever wins is going to hang something. We saw it do you think the Lakers really wanted to hang a banner? They did not. But it would have been a huge embarrassment for the league if the Lakers, one of the prestige teams on the NBA map, did not show the cup some level of respect. So the Lakers came up with, their little mini banner. But yeah, look, I cannot get excited about this thing, but I have to say, Trae Young's on here tweeting tonight, thank you, Celtics, for coming back and winning this game so we can, so if the players are into it, that's a good sign. This thing is not a tournament until the semis, until we get to Vegas, and I'm not going to, these games, it drives me crazy that that group play is 60 regular season games that count twice. I hate this format, but I'm not the target audience. And if the players care, if guys like Trae Young are sitting here really legitimately excited that Boston's win over the Bulls tonight means that Atlanta wins its group, that's actually progress, and that's something.
That's true. Go ahead, Will.
So, Mark, I'm curious. When the Bulls went back to the announcement that what they were doing wasn't working and they had to make changes, have they made enough changes to be able to then make themselves better in the future the way things are now, or they've still got a lot of work left to do?
Well, it's interesting. I wouldn't even use the word announcement because I don't really think they've come out and announced this plan. But, I think you guys wanted me on tonight because of the story that my colleague Jake Fisher posted on my website earlier today. And look, this is the messaging that the Bulls are giving to other teams. Call us or let's talk. We're going to talk about anybody because we, all jokes aside, we talked about this the last time I visited you guys. Like, the Bulls situation absolutely fascinates me because they cannot do better. They have to finish with the 6th worst record in the league. They have to. They have no choice. You cannot risk falling out of the top 10 and giving that pick to San Antonio in a draft that is loaded. Scouts like it even better. Just since the last time I joined you guys, whenever that was, I don't even know if it was a month ago that I visited with you guys. In that short time since, scouts are more excited about this draft. It's not just Cooper flag. I am not a draft expert. I'm not watching the college game, but I'm just listening to the guys I talk to who are out there scouting. And there are several players that excite teams. The Bulls cannot afford to surrender this lottery pick. They know it, and they're too competent of a team right now as is. So they're going to have to find and the thing is, Zach LaVine is playing sensational basketball. He looks great. Chicago's struggles to trade him have nothing to do with his on-court production. It's all about the fact Zach's got 2 years left on his deal after this one at very high dollars. And just in this new luxury tax world with a first apron and a second apron, it's just going to be really hard for the Bulls to move him. But Vooch, who is playing all-star basketball at only $20 million this season, Lonzo Ball on an expiring contract, I think the phones will start to ring in earnest as we move into the real trade season, which everybody kind of treats as December 15th, when 100 or so players on other teams become eligible to be moved. The Bulls are going to be a team that we talk about all between now and the February 6th trade deadline. There will be no discussions about trades without the Bulls being mentioned. There just won't.
There's some interesting details in that report from Jake Fisher as far as what the Bulls might be looking for in trades of some of these veteran players if they are willing to listen to offers. And then also that some teams out there might also be interested in some younger names like Dalen Terry, like Julian Phillips, to be packaged in those trades were the Bulls to ship out some of their more expensive vets. What do you make of that? And then what do you make of the fact that the Bulls would, according to Jake's reporting, be cool with a couple of second-round picks for Vooch at the All-Star season that he's having? Because I'm sure that there are plenty of Bulls fans who are sitting at home thinking, if Vooch keeps playing like this, any chance the Bulls could maybe even get like a first round or a late first round or a late first swap? What do you make of that part of Jake's reporting?
I want to clarify because what Jake quoted a GM from another team who said his projection is that 2 second-round picks would be a likely starting point in trade talks for Vucevic. I'm with you. I think he's playing so well. I'm sure the Bulls will try to get more than that. But you also have to be realistic here. I am still legitimately mind-boggled that they traded Caruso, who was in such great demand. And yes, raise your arms because there's nothing we can say. You couldn't get 2 seconds from the team that has more firsts over the next seven years than any franchise in league history. The Bulls couldn't get 2 seconds for Caruso. They couldn't get 1 second for Caruso. I still can't believe that deal had no draft compensation in it. Yeah. So look, it's too early to say, what Vooch can or can't command, but the man is playing at an all-star level, and as an offensive player, unquestionably an all-star. And I think you guys remember I did a long interview with Vooch when I saw him in August in Slovenia, and I thought he was very candid in that interview, saying, sorry, I'm getting excited here. He acknowledged he didn't shoot the ball last season anywhere near his standard. He worked on it all summer. You see the results. He went into tonight shooting nearly 45% from three. Okay. He is 2010, put it on the board. He spaces the floor, and $20 million in the modern NBA is a very reasonable salary. So I'm sure the Bulls will try to get as much as they can when the time is right. But exactly what that will be, it's hard to forecast. It's hard to tell you that or pinpoint that right now.
Mark, let me go back to you talking about the Caruso trade, because I want to ask you about the player that we have now, was Josh Giddy. After now kind of seeing him at his highest high on this team, and we kind of seen him at his lowest low on this team, what is your assessment of Josh Giddey right now? Because fans haven't found that middle ground. They either like love him or they really, really don't like him. So where are you at as far as Josh Giddey and how he is this season with the Bulls?
Well, the beauty of those situations, he's going to be a restricted free agent. So that assessment doesn't have to be figured out on Thanksgiving. And look, what you're describing, it's no different on DLLS after losses. It's no different probably on any show for any team on the NBA map. In 2024-25, we all do it. We're all guilty of it. It's an NFL-style analysis that's applied to – we want to make declarations after every single game, and it doesn't work like that in the NBA. But it just becomes impossible to resist. He's the greatest. This is awful. Get rid of him. Sign him for a max. I mean, it's going to be all over the place because that's just the nature of commentary today. But by not doing an extension before the deadline, and the deadline for rookies from that class was opening night eve, they now have a whole season to evaluate this. And he'll be a restricted free agent, so they can match any offer that Giddy gets. So they're not just going to lose him outright. But, yeah, certainly, it's concerning to, everyone around the league has taken note of the fact that, his minutes have been very up and down, and Billy Donovan has not been afraid to not play him. So certainly this is something that teams are looking at and monitoring. But I think we do have to give it the season because Giddy's future is not going to be decided until after the season, realistically.
That's true.
Gulp. Stein, we appreciate the time, man. We can let you go. Lead off home run. We got a GOAT on deck.
I got one more question for you.
Okay.
One more question for you. And Will, you don't know this, but can you please tell us how you celebrated the fact that you won Goon of the Night the last time you were here?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I heard about it. I was a little bit I thought Vooch should have won. I don't know the whole history. I don't understand why it's called Goon. You guys are going to have to explain that to me.
Oh, it's in the name.
but I will say, I thought the whole thing with the belt and everything, that was another thing. Like I told the DLLS squad, like, we got to come up with something. We got to do this. This is a great idea. So,
well, once a Goon of the Night winner, always a Goon of the Night winner.
I do have one more question.
Go for it, Will.
Okay.
So what the Bulls are doing and their record, can Vooch still make the All-Star team?
Ooh, good question.
In the East, anything is possible.
I mean, is there a big in the East playing better than Vooch right now?
Look, I haven't studied it yet because it's way too soon for all-star reserves. But, yeah, how many teams have winning records right now? 6, maybe 5. I guess Milwaukee's at 500 now. So, yeah, he's got to be in the conversation. He has been fantastic. And, again, I loved when I talked to him. He's, he made no secret of the fact I didn't shoot the ball well last year. That's on me. I worked on it a lot this summer. And, he's delivered night after night after night. He knows what he's good at and is incredibly consistent. He's not going to win the shot blocking title, but as a face-up offensive center, and he's going to give you rebounds. That is a part of defense. It's not like blocking shots, but rebounding is a part of defense, an important part. He's 20-10. Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. Yes. All right, Stein, we appreciate you. Bulls Nation, follow Mark for all of his great NBA reporting. Subscribe to his Substack. Follow him on Twitter, The Stein Line. Also, check out our guys down there, DLLS Mavs, doing a great job covering Luka and that fun squad. Yeah. Until next time, Mark, take it easy.
Remember, if I come to town, Italian beef, you guys promised.
On the way.
Say the word.
Come through.
My man.
See you, Mark.
Take care, Mark. All right, Sarah Bear, do we want to knock out a quick ad and then bring Goat in? You want to do that? Let's do that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button for Mark Stein.
Do it for Mark Stein.
Remembering, for all of you out there who aren't old enough to remember, that this man right here was balling in the summer of 1989.
4.
In NBA Summer League action.
With them things.
Yeah. Hit your thumb for that. Make sure you subscribe. Who do we got next, Dave?
Beer.
Yes, please.
You drink it. Go ahead, take a sip, Matt. You see what just happened? He embraced chill. That's just what went down. Because between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder we're more worked up. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing that chill mindset. Why not turn that rained out barbecue into the Will Gottlieb and Will Perdue 8,032 annual house party?
So many.
Oh, so many. And it's happening at Matt's place. Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill. Then reach for a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshing because when those mountains turn blue, oh yes, you know what to do. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged for a smoother finish. So when you embrace chill, it's a good time to choose it and crack open that Coors Light. That mountain cold refreshment that is crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Hurricanes. Make the most out of those times to choose chill and choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Post-game tonight also brought to you by our friends at Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, who are here to elevate your winter. Winter is coming, Chicago. I saw some flurries on my way to the office today. It's okay. Sunnyside's here to help. They are your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. A crazy selection. I'm talking over 100 different strains to choose from. Easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Stop in the store nearest you throughout Illinois for expert guidance from their staff and select from quality brands and lines like Cresco and FloraCal. And right now, through the end of the year, December 31st, you got to check out the Sunnyside Scratch and Stash savings and winnings.
Tell me more.
Back for the holiday season. Receive a scratch-off card every single time you shop at the Sunnyside location. Now through December 31st, every single card is a winner. You can win big, like 50% off your order or $100 off your next purchase. Hurry in to see what you win when you play Sunnyside Scratch and Stash.
Wow.
Visit Sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day. Only 21 and over and Illinois Med card holders.
I like when Will Perdue looks at us and be like, what the hell did I sign up for? We're reading these ads. It'd be the best, man. I love it so much.
Hey, we told Purdue from day one, anytime you feel like reading an ad, you go right
more
ahead.
than welcome, sir. I am here for
You guys do such a good job. I don't want to take that away from you.
See, that's the only time you give me a compliment is when you don't want to do something. I see how that works. I see how it goes, man.
That is not true. I gave you a compliment that time you changed my flat tire.
That's true. He did. He did. He said, you did such a good job. Now go change the other one and do the same thing. I appreciate you, Will. It's kind.
Let's bring in the goat, shall we? To Will.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Joining us on that Go Talk hotline live from the bowels of the United Center. It's the one and only Will the Go Gottlieb.
Look at this man.
Will_Gottlieb.
Oh, hold on a second.
What's up?
Hunter, come here, bud.
Come on through.
You got no choice.
Cameo?
Yeah,
Cameo time?
There it is.
Stand here.
You just want to
Look
show
at
him
this. Look at this handsome young man.
You want to show him what greatness
Look
looks
at
like?
the quality.
Greatness.
Hold on. Sarah, can you focus on the quaff?
Zoom in on the quaff, Sarah.
We finally have somebody that can compete. Here, get down on one knee. There you go. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Hold on. She's gonna
Quaff abounding.
We're having a quaff off?
Yeah.
We're having a quaff off in here.
That's
man.
right.
Look at
that.
Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is my son, Hunter.
Shout out.
What's going on, Hunter?
He's a
Nice to
junior
meet
at
you,
Miami of Ohio. He plays lacrosse.
Yeah.
His girlfriend Maddie's sitting right over here.
Hi, Maddie.
Maddie, you
Welcome.
want to come be on? You want to be on TV?
She's like,
Come
I'm
on,
good.
come on. Might as well come in. Come on, let's go.
Purdue brought the entourage tonight.
That's real.
That's right.
Every way he rolled, man.
Hey, both nations say hi to Maddie.
Hey, she said, that is bright. Yes. How do you like his quaff? How do you like his hair? You feeling it? She digs it. Yeah, there it is.
He just got a cut too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you make him or?
No, he does. He did it on his own.
Okay. All right. You learn from the best now because you still styling.
Yeah, I was going to say, who gets more trips to the barbershop per year? Pops
Oh, me
or
by
son?
far.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Okay. All right. He said,
Hold on.
Say,
I
come
didn't
on now.
tell. Who told him? Did you tell him?
Me or his mom.
Dang.
There we
It's
go.
like that, honey? Like, dang, they're disposing my guy.
And then my wife's over there. Come on, babe.
Hey. She said,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
My wife's in the witness protection program.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is A-okay.
Sit down now.
Oh, man.
Shout
Will
out.
Perdue with
Shout
the
out to the
entourage,
fam
man.
popping in.
But I wanted to bring him in, so at least he's got something that we can compare it to.
Yeah,
There it
so,
is.
I mean, go. What do you think? The Quaff-Off, are you confident in your skills, or is Purdue
he's still-
Jr. taking
He's
this?
still got the better
He's still,
quaff.
he's still
But Hunter
I'm
didn't have
happy
his
to share the
haircut.
crown.
Yeah, but think about this, though. That's a college kid getting up late,
Yeah.
running to class.
Right.
You know,
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I miss it so much.
You ran? You ran the class?
No, just like this, the sleeping in and
Oh, the
being in
sleeping
college
in.
part.
Okay, got you. All right.
so did you use product tonight, or is this all natural?
All natural.
That's right.
Wait, how's that possible?
Just roll that bed
Greatness,
like
man.
that.
You know?
When was the
stop
last
because
time
it's
you
open
actually
container.
got your
Many
haircut?
years for it to thin enough to where it looks okay.
Thin enough?
Whereas before it was so bushy and thick that it was just a source of comedy for all my friends. So I'm finally winning.
Yeah, who's laughing now? Go get them.
Well, the Bulls aren't laughing because they just got bounced out of the NBA Cup, unfortunately.
back.
But what was the headline from Billy Donovan tonight? What was the headline from what you heard from the players in the locker room tonight?
Yeah, I think there was kind of like the sense of look how good we can play, and obviously it wasn't enough, and there are no more victories, and multiple people were, that was like one of the first things that they said. But like I do think that there was a sense of like, okay, this is the best team in the league. They just won the championship, and we're like taking a lead against them in the third quarter, and we're like competing with them and hanging with them through this whole time. And I think that there is, I don't know if they would really like admit it right after a loss, but my sense of just reading the room was that there was a little bit of confidence that they were building in themselves just by competing with this team. And obviously, like, they're disappointed that they aren't going to be advancing in the NBA Cup. I think that was like, they took that seriously. And especially when the Hawks won today against the Cavs and like the door was open, win, you're in type deal. I think they got kind of excited about it, and they knew what was at stake. They knew what the consequence was, and they knew that if they won, that they would have had a chance to move on. And doing that against the Celtics team, as I mentioned, the NBA champions who are playing some of the best basketball in the league, that would have been a really cool thing. So I think there's like a little bit of, frustration or sadness with that, but also kind of this self-belief that you get from competing at the highest level on a stage where like people are watching them. This was like an NBA Cup game. It was one of the only games that was on later at night. It was against like one of the top teams in the league. You open the Bleacher Report app. That was like the first thing that you could see on it. So I think that, that kind of attention, they knew that was there. And I think that they were kind of motivated by that and unfortunately didn't get the win, but I think they were kind of happy with the way they played.
Will, the Josh Giddy love-hate tonight was kind of at a, I would say all-time level, but it's the same every single time.
It's always high.
4 points, the 8 rebounds, the 9 assists, the 3 steals. Were you surprised that he didn't get a chance to be in at the end of the game and Billy kind of went with Lonzo, who wasn't playing, super great, but is known just to be a better defender?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I think, Billy has made it pretty clear at this point that like when he's looking to like lock in and try to compete at the end of a game, that he's just not going to be out there unless he's playing super well. And I thought he played okay. He had a couple of steals. He's got his runner working a little bit, and obviously he's going to be a good rebounder and make some good passes. Those are kind of the non-negotiables with him that he always does well. But it's more about like, are you going to get isolated in screen and roll against Jason Tatum every single time, or Peyton Pritchard, or whoever it is. I mean, they've got like all these guys that can just kill you one-on-one, and like you just can't have Giddy out there for that. And I do think Giddy provides a lot of value. He was positive in the plus minus. He kind of led that bench unit alongside Kobe with Jalen Smith, and they kind of mixed and matched wings there. It was Talon, it was Julian, it was Dalen Terry at one point. So I think that is a role where Giddy can be, where Giddy can be successful. But the problem is that that's the role that Giddy asked out of OKC, because that's the one that they were going to give him there. And I think that's a big question that Stein was talking about as I just jumped on here and heard the last tail end of it. That's something that they're going to be evaluating all year long. Can you get to a point where he's playing at the end of those games, where he's competing with these guys at the end of games and not having to be the one that's sitting on the bench. And I think that's what he wants. And I think ideally that's what the Bulls want, right? Because they just, spent a lot, valuable asset to go get him. But I don't think that they're at a point right now where they're going to be like sacrificing the potential to win a game so that they can play Giddy at the end. And we've seen that time and time again now. So I wasn't surprised that he was benched. I was a little surprised that Lonzo was out there because he played 21 minutes today. And this morning when we talked to him, Billy Donovan said that his minutes restriction was going to be 15 to 16. We asked him about a post game and he said, look, we got clearance from medical. We asked them how he's doing at halftime. And obviously, like, you don't want to go too far above that, but like 20 minutes is kind of what they were hoping to push him up to. And so I think that was always kind of in their kind of near-term sights for Lonzo. But I think if this is not a cup game that they have a chance to win, I do not think Lonzo is playing 20 minutes. So it was kind of nice to see him out there, and he was icing his wrist after the game. And I think there were probably some plays that he would have wanted back, but I thought he played really well. And it's tough when you're going against a team like the Celtics because Billy was explaining that they try to prevent you from closing out by, just switching everything and forcing you to defend that way. And so the Bulls are trying to do that. And when you're switching, you got to have a guy like Lonzo out there, and you got to have a guy who can keep the ball moving and shoot threes on the other end. So long-winded way to answer that. I think, Lonzo is the perfect glue guy. He's a perfect connective piece. He defends, he shoots threes, he keeps the ball moving, and that's what you need in a lineup with Zach and Vooch. And it's like kind of the opposite of what Giddy gives you. And that's why I always felt like that comparison was kind of strange to me because like they're very different players other than like the hit-ahead passing.
So, I just thought of something. Who's the happiest that Josh Giddy is here?
Who's that?
Vooch.
Why is that?
Well, all the Vooch hate has now been kicked over to Giddy.
Bulls
So,
fans like, we're getting the first for Vooch.
For the way he's playing right now. I mean, he has been
he's been playing like an all-star, but remember all this hate was on Vooch last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was misdirected. So, Vooch is playing very well, and they've all like, let's talk about Giddy then. All the Vooch haters are now Giddy haters. But I had two questions for you, Goat. Any question to Billy about why Modest only played 5 minutes?
No questions about it, but I think it's kind of the same answer. Like you saw Modest, like the two plays that I can recall are him grabbing a rebound, getting up the floor, had Peyton Pritchard on him, nice crossover, beat him downhill, bumped him, layup. Next time down, he's on Tatum, and the screen comes, and he gets stuck on the screen, and Tatum, just pulls up for an open three. And like you can't let those plays happen when you're going against the Celtics, where you're just giving up open shots, because that's how they kill you. And as soon as they hit a three and then get a stop and then hit another three, that lead goes from 2 to 8, and now you're kind of out of the game. So credit to the Bulls for continuing to fight their way back in, but I thought there was a possession where they got mixed up on a screen. I believe that was the last play that Modest was out there. And that's the kind of thing that you can't have against a team like the Celtics, because they'll just, as soon as there's an opening, they will just pick it all the way apart.
Bingo. Went to my next question.
Look at that.
What exactly are they trying to accomplish? And
The
I'm
Bulls?
not just talking about yes. You just
We'll see.
you basically just led me right down the alley, man. Because isn't this about development? And they admitted that what they were doing wasn't working. And you heard, Mark Stein talk about you cannot afford to allow this draft pick to fall out of the top 10. And, Billy talked about how, he has to earn this playing time. But I thought as of late, he's actually played pretty well and earned more minutes. And one of the things that I've always been told, and was, specifically when I played, is you got to be able to play through mistakes. But if you get taken out, how can you play through them?
Yeah, it's tough. For me, I think this was a game where you kind of saw, and I slacked this to Dave as we were chatting throughout the game, like you kind of saw Billy bring out the big guns. Like he did not go with Modest. He went with Torrey Craig. He did not go with, some of his younger players. He was going with the veterans there. He played Lonzo over Kobe for long stretches of the game because Kobe was struggling shooting the ball. And I just think that this game was, they felt like they had an opportunity to accomplish something that they were excited about. And so I think they kind of went for it. Now, does that mean that the whole season is going to go that way? Probably not. Almost certainly not. We haven't had a chance to talk with the front office in a couple weeks now. So we don't have like the most updated perspective from their end, but like the mentality has always been like they are trying to keep their draft pick, but they are also trying to display the veterans and make sure that a team like the Celtics, who could use a veteran wing who can really shoot the ball, is out there, and he's hitting some threes, and Torrey Craig played great in his minutes. So I think that there is an element of trying to showcase. There's an element of trying to develop. There's an element of trying to remain competitive to engage the fans that are filling up the United Center. And as we've talked about, that's a very, very fine line to walk. And if you falter a little bit, it could go one way. If you falter the other way, it could totally unravel. And I think it's a very challenging walk that they're trying to make. But I mean, they're kind of doing it right now. They're 8-13. They're 11th place in the East. Modest has had some games. I don't think it's going to be linear with any of these things where Modest is getting 19 minutes one day and then 20 the next and 21 the day after that. But we have seen growth from him, and I think they'll continue to build that over time. But I think it's a very challenging walk. And yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a point where they start to sell guys off or trade guys or whatever it may be. And that opens up more minutes. But I just think that they are trying to accomplish a lot of things at the same time. And I don't know if it's possible, but I think they're going to attempt to try. And if that means, Modest doesn't really get to play too much tonight against the Celtics because they're going for it, then so be it. But hopefully he gets more minutes on Monday against the Nets.
All right, go. We'll let you go. Get home safe tonight. Make sure you're reading his stuff. AllCHGO.com is where you can find it. Sign up to become a CHGO diehard so you get the very best and all of Goat's writing. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. Goat, thanks for the time, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Perdue, what do you make of that answer from Goat to your question about what would you say you do here? What's the plan?
Well, I think that's why I kind of brought up the point before the GOAT came on, and when we first started the show about it's confusing.
Yeah.
It's what's the direction, and what are we attempting?
They don't have one. They're the Bulls.
Listen, if you ask me, I want to try to win every single game.
Yes.
But then I've come to terms with the fact of that would be detrimental to this particular team with the talent that they have.
Welcome aboard.
Now, I'm not saying they don't have individual talent. They have a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But at the end of the day, this team at its best doesn't beat the Celtics or the Bucks
or the Magic
or the Cavs
or the
Knicks
or the Knicks in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Now they can win some games, but, and I know a lot of people, get on me about this, but when your organization has 6 championships, not just 1 or 2, there's a standard you should be held to.
Talk, Will.
And when was the last time, I mean, seriously, you guys, when was the last time that the organization was considered a contender?
2015.
Yeah.
Conference semis against LeBron's Cavs. D-Rose
hit that shot.
puts them up 2-1 with the buzzer beater. They lose game 4. They lose the series. That's the last time this league took the Bulls seriously.
And his heart died.
Oh, I mean, what was left of it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Small pieces.
But, I mean, Perdue, you say that all the time. And as a player who won 3 of those 6 championships, you always have a right to bring that up.
Flex.
There is a standard that we need to hold this organization and the players and everyone, coaching staff, the people who were largely responsible for that 6 championship banner pedigree, those 3 people, Michael Jordan, Jerry Krause, Phil Jackson, they're all gone and haven't been around in a while. So what is left of that? There is a standard. What the Bulls, the people who own the team, the people who run the team, don't and haven't for a long time held anybody to that standard because they're not the ones who set it. They take credit for it all the time, but they didn't set it. You, your teammates, Phil Jackson, and the guy who assembled that roster earned that credit.
Correct. But they're also, though, the people that hold them to that and talk about it and would like to see this organization get back to that. Because I can promise you, it's the same as, I want to see Vanderbilt do really well. And I want to see Vanderbilt get in the tournament. So I, as a former player, can sit in the stands and celebrate the current team. Those of us that have been in Chicago want the same thing for the Bulls so that we can then, be in the playoffs and come back and experience all that and be a part of it. Because and then enjoy it just like the fans do. Because as much as we talk about we enjoy it, what we enjoyed was the competition. What we enjoyed was the winning. We didn't really get to enjoy the games. We didn't really get to enjoy the fact that we did after the fact when we won a championship. But that was such a small window of time because we knew, oh, guess what? Now we got an X on our back. Everybody's coming for us. We got to be even more prepared the upcoming season than last season. And then the next year, and then the next year. So it's right back to work. So you really don't start to, it doesn't really sink in until you've kind of stopped playing. You always talk about it, but now it's the pressure of living up to that expectation, that standard that you want to hold yourself to and hope that the organization is beholden to. But to take this full circle, because they've struggled to be able to sign the big name free agent and have constantly missed on that. You've seen Oklahoma City is a perfect example that you can build through the draft.
Sure.
And unless you're an organization like the Lakers, who can basically guarantee that they're going to get some big name free agents, you have to go through the draft. So if you're going to go through the draft, what does that mean? That means you either are a team that's in the playoffs, but yet you always hit a home run with a lot of second-round picks. And, you're constantly finding IOs, diamonds in the rough, year after year after year. Or eventually you hit a point where you have to have a fire sale. You have to reach the lows of the lows and then get lucky with the ping pong balls and get a couple draft picks and then build that way. I know the fans in Oklahoma City have been through a lot of bad basketball, but look at what they've done. They've stockpiled pick after pick after pick. So now they still are in a position where they can make trades with picks and get considerable value back. And that's why Mark Stein's like, it's one thing.
Bulls couldn't manage to scrounge any of those up.
Yeah, but listen, and it's one thing for us to sit here and say, man, they couldn't get a pick with for Caruso. But then to hear a guy like Stein, who's so well connected, who knows, who basically has a really, and not that you guys don't have an understanding, you guys have a much better understanding than me, but a guy that knows what value is, makes a comment that they couldn't get us, something else thrown in on that, is when you are just like, okay, they're going to have an opportunity here. And, you take what Stein said and then you take everything that Gottlieb feels like they're trying to accomplish. It's like, it's kind of like Chip Schaefer used to always say when we were playing and winning those championships, too smart is dumb. Meaning if you try to do too much, you're going to hurt yourself.
Steady long, steady wrong. Yes, sir.
So what is your target? What is your direction? Stick to it and run with it.
Yes, sir. Those are bars, right?
Well said.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, a couple of quick promotions. Hit that like button. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We do have our Black Friday sale going on right now in that CHGO merch locker, the ALLCITY merch locker. Up to 75% off certain items, 30% off across the entire store, site-wide. There's new designs on new tees and new hoodies. We also have awesome glassware, pints. We got hats, winter and or baseball.
Yes.
Get what you want. Get it now. Get it while it's hot. Get it while it is aggressively on sale. And it's going to continue all the way through Cyber Monday. Yeah. Quick shout out to Prism Mike for the super chat. He said eliminated, but at least so were the Celtics. So was Eberflus. Goodbye. Be thankful, Chicago. Eberflus, you, sir, were not the belle of the ball.
Get out.
No, I don't even think Eberflus was invited to any parties while he was here.
At all.
Not a ball.
Nope.
Not a party. Not a mixer. Not even a soiree of any kind. Get out of town.
Keep going. Continue.
That's all. No, I'm good. I've said
so. House party.
I'm honestly, Big Dave was the louder, more aggressive Eberflus hater in pregame tonight.
Yeah. Well, truth teller is what I call it. But yes.
Well, sure.
He's trash. He's gone. Get in the van. Get out. We're done. We're out of here.
I thought we decided he doesn't even get a van.
You know what? You're right. No van.
We asked you guys for your thumbs for the likes on the YouTube. He's going to need his thumb. Doing this down the road.
No, I need him a van because I need to ensure that he's gone. I don't even need him walking. Like the van, and it won't be no seats in the van.
Be gone and be gone
like that.
faster.
That's right. But that engine will be humming. All right, he got to go. Goodbye. Get out.
Get out.
Also, I wanted to
Promote. Big Dave's got something coming up tomorrow.
CHGO Wrestling. Yes. I don't know if y'all knew this, but mentally I'm 6 years old. So I love wrestling very, very much. We're going to have a CHGO watch party Survivor Series tomorrow. Myself, the Blackhawks crew. Kyle is coming also. He going to be in here hanging
Kyle
out
Williams?
with us. Kyle Williams.
Of Sun
will be up
Times
in here.
fame?
Yes, the youngest in charge.
So what are you guys doing this online or something?
We'll be right here on YouTube. You can sit and watch us on YouTube. We'll be children and enjoy wrestling. And then you can send comments in also if you want to. Because I know you like messing with me.
You don't
so it's
understand.
cool.
I used to watch that when I was growing up in Florida.
Oh, yeah, you are a Florida guy. Yeah, you know all about it. I feel like we had this conversation. Yes.
Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons.
You know Ron Simmons. Come on, Will.
Played football at Florida State.
He sure did. Yes. Join us tomorrow.
Is this a pay-per-view event or
Yes.
is this just like on cable?
No, it's a pay-per-view event. Yes. $5 if you want to watch it on Peacock.
$5?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
For how many hours of wrestling entertainment?
Peacock, as much as you like. As much as you want, Matt Peck. That's right, baby. It's global.
What if I want none?
Well, then you won't be joining like you will not be tomorrow. But all of y'all who want to, come on through, hang out with the watch
Bless
party.
your heart and bless the heart of everyone
doing
who
a
wants
show
to.
tomorrow?
No show tomorrow. Bulls don't play tomorrow. You want us to do a show on Saturday?
Well, the Bulls are off
the
tomorrow.
Bulls ain't playing?
Yeah.
Damn, Will. I changed the tires.
We just did a stretch of like 9 games in 11 nights. What do you want from us?
Picked up your laundry. Like, come on, man.
How many days in the week?
I don't know. How many you want me to work?
No, I'm not saying that. How many days in the week?
7.
How many days? That's
8
okay,
according
then.
to the Beatles.
Well
You need
done.
to serve
Well
the
done.
fans.
Well done.
What you need
What
to
do you think I'm going to be doing here tomorrow?
Sir, what do you think we're doing?
I'm be serving the fans, Will.
You're not going to
Also-
be here.
No, I am going to have a much deserved and earned day off tomorrow.
He's earned it. How's your days off, Will?
Mine are good.
Doing well? All right. You got to tell us about
Look
it.
to my left. See, that's
Doing all right.
Yes, we are going to be off this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We can all take a breath. Bulls back in action on Monday. We'll be here for pregame.
Do you know, is that
Working
a
hard.
liar reference? Like, I'm sorry, I thought that was a liar reference right there. Simmons is old.
Simmons is old.
Okay,
He should have been out of the game years ago, but he can't go home because he hates his wife. Bulls, Nets, pregame, 6:30 Central on Monday. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the void of Matt Eberflus that will permeate the streets of Chicago.
Oh, the Hills are alive.
Even enjoy that the Bulls gave the Celtics a good fight tonight.
They did.
I think we can all enjoy that for what it is.
I enjoyed it. And Will Perdue here.
Produce here.
Definitely enjoy that.
We heard from the GOAT.
That's right.
We had a quaff off.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the one and only Mark Stein was here, too.
Yes.
Shout out to him.
it's a hell of a show.
Yeah, it's a packed show.
Stacked.
Follow Uncle Will_Perdue32. Big Dave's a bow, BAWL Sports. One more time, Will to go is Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Buy that merch that's on sale in the CHGO merch locker. Shout out and thanks to the one and only producer on the controls, our dear friend Sarah Bear. And
Held it down all week.
that's
sir.
right.
Held it down
Fill
all
it in.
week.
Hope Katie's having a wonderful time out in
Yeah.
whatever Italian city she's in now.
That's right.
Saw a
Sweet.
picture of her on Insta of standing in front of the Coliseum. Which was awesome.
Doing her thing.
Hitting on Trevi Fountain,
Did
all that
Sarah
jazz.
do the jingle?
Yes. Twice.
Oh, yeah.
You heard her?
I've done it a couple times.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Katie's
Pressure zone.
We're gonna
Slipping.
We're gonna have to sit down and have a little talk.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Sarah Bear, she made like 85 pies and she did all this, man. Shout out to her, man.
True story. None of which have
Shout
found their
out.
way to this office yet, though.
Yeah, we ain't getting no pies. No pies. We ain't gonna hold it against. Christmas cookies are coming, is what she said.
There you
Yeah,
go.
She said they coming.
She's telling you where you guys stand.
I'm sitting, Will. I stand
Sorry,
nowhere.
her mom's love me. It's all good. It's all right. It's all right.
But
get
whose mom doesn't love Big
That's
Dave?
a very fair point.
Are you kidding? My mom is obsessed with Big
That's-
Dave.
that's a
Of
fair
course-
point.
Of course she is.
It's a fair point.
We are CHGO_Bulls. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. As always, Bulls Nation, hit that like button. Appreciate you for the comment. Ost is saying, hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. Great show as always. Love CHGO. We love you right back.
Right back.
Enjoy your weekends. We will talk to you 6:30 Central Time for pregame Monday. Bulls Nets. See you, be good.
Hug your mama. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.